Yeah, a few things going on. So I just thought I'd jump on here more so for shout out Sundays, I think, pretty much. Lots of cool stuff has happened, not only this week, but over the last few weeks, which I probably failed to mention on the Frontline Fridays live. And I thought instead of that, instead of rehashing that, instead just doing a few shout outs in regards to what's been on the mind this week and these last several weeks, to be fair, and where things are heading, etc. So don't anticipate anybody seeing this. That some of the followers of the channel might stumble upon it a bit later on at another time. But yeah, shout out Sundays. I guess it's not a reaction, but the channel here, it never really started out as a reactions channel. I think people came along and supported it the more the reactions went, and so those will continue, and I enjoy them. But I like to think, I suppose, for me anyway, they go always a little further. The naming of the channel and what that means to me is more than just doing, I suppose, military reactions or reactions to news going on around the world and that sort of thing. So shout out Sunday. Might as well just crack into that. So a few things that have popped into my head. Want to just shout out those in the school community that have been kind enough to follow along. Apologies, we didn't do our monthly live last night. That's because, just for the school community, that's because there was no questions come through. So I'm guessing everybody's hammering along and doing really well. And there seem to be no burning questions. The numbers are low in the membership in the school community, which is fine. It is what it is, excuse me. So yeah, hopefully those people are doing well, and if they need anything or need a hand, then they know where to reach out, or they know how to get in touch with me anyway. So that's it, school community. Thank you very much for your support, and hopefully things continue to be tracking well for each of you. Next, I want to shout out and thank those individuals. So obviously I can't name them, but I'm fortunate to work with a number of people in the one-to-ones weekly who have chosen a monthly option to work one-to-one with me and get access to me each week, and helping them prepare for their selection journey and what it is that they're doing, and just trying to mentor and guide them as best I can. But without you guys turning up each week and each month, renewing, some of those that have been renewing for a while, the opportunity to catch up and connect with me, it's not what's the term? It's not wasted on me, I suppose, is what I'm trying to say. So thank you very much for that, and they know who they are. Obviously I won't drop your names and stuff in that on here, but you seem to be tracking well, from what I understand and from the feedback and the sessions that we have. And that's a cool thing. And one of you is over here in NZ at the moment, and we got to go do a little bit of a training session yesterday morning. Some stuff to work on, you and me both, like all of us. But I think the key parts for you to take away, if you're watching this live, is that you turned up, you worked hard, and you did what you could, and what you were able to do on the day, which is awesome. You've got a plan, and we're working towards that plan in terms of you looking to go on to selection. And this is, I suppose, you can use it as a checkpoint to go, okay, yep, I've got some more work to do, like I said. So don't beat yourself up about it. The time is the time. You and I managed to have a little bit of a laugh, and there were some people who are none the wiser in terms of what you're doing or what your goals are. They just saw a couple of randoms that were walking up the hill, or that were eventually at the top of the hill with their packs. So yeah, it's good to have you over here. We'll look to try and get some more training in if you're keen, and go through that. But also acknowledging you specifically because you're here and you've traveled from overseas to come here. And also want to acknowledge the rest of those who are in a similar position to you, that have taken the time, to try to pick my brain and learn what they can, I suppose. Hopefully there's some help in there somewhere to help you with regards to your fullest journey and preparation for selection. So that's the second shout out. So school community, the individuals that I get to work with. Third one, there's a few fellas, like I'm not Big on Instagram. What I mean by big is I don't mean, oh, I haven't got a big following. Like, that goes without saying. I mean, I'm not a big user of Instagram. Like, I'll put up a post, usually the post that I've put on my YouTube channel, I'll whack it onto Instagram. And occasionally I'll whack up a short video clip like I did today, but that's because I put it on YouTube, so I put it on Instagram as well. But seems like there's plenty of people that I know from the past. And one of the guys that I want to just acknowledge and shout out, his Instagram channel is Shane_Poe, capital SHANE_Poe, and he's got in there, which is just really cool. And I've been doing a bit of a, not a deep dive, but just been scrolling through his page and his blogs and the channels, because he's got in there in his description, blogger. That's a bit of an understatement, eh? Like, I didn't know Shane super well. I worked with him a little bit in the private security space, not long, or when he got out of the regiment here in NZ. He was already in the unit when I was going through selection, and then I think when I was on cycle, he might have been doing his trade as a carpenter, as a chippy. And he's probably gone on to do a whole bunch of other things since then, and clearly blogging is one of those things, and traveling the world. And it was just cool to see some of the stuff that he's got on there. So shout out, Shane. Awesome to see that you're doing well. Yeah, Shane would have been probably a corporal or something, maybe even a sergeant when I was just going through cycle. So he's one of the old digs experienced. But when you see his channel, fella still looks like he looks like the same age as me. And I don't know how much older he is than me, but I know he's older than me, put it that way, and more experience. So yeah, shout out, Shane. It was awesome to see your stuff and what you're doing, traveling around the place. So anybody here that is interested in following or having a look and seeing the type of stuff that Shane does, go check him out on Instagram, give him a follow in that as well. And not that that's what he's been asking for. I think he's quite happy just doing his own thing and then just sharing some of the experiences that he has along his travels. But it was cool for me to see him on there. Another person on Instagram who I just want to shout out, I don't know this person, I've only just recently started following them, but some of their stuff really resonates with me, and I don't know his actual name, but his handle on Instagram is, and I'm looking at my screen here, is Terminator_training. So he's a former Green Beret and a coach and mentor to current and aspiring SF operators. So Terminator_training, he's got some cool stuff in there. Seems to be, pretty grounded and well-spoken when he's talking about things. Clearly looks pretty active and stuff as well when he's out and about, and then doing his videos and posts them on YouTube. On Instagram. I don't know if he's got a YouTube channel, but some of the stuff that he's got in there was a recent post that I saw he's put up, well, I think it's recent, 25 facts SOF prep candidates, so Special Operations Forces preparation candidates or prep candidates, don't want to hear. And I had a read through them, and I thought they were very cool. A lot of relevance and stuff in there in regards to the comments that he's put in. And yeah, it was just good to see. So shout out to Mr. Terminator_training for what he does. And then like I have on Shane's, I've just gone through and been doing a little bit of scrolling and reading through the stuff that he's got on there. He's got some cool stuff. So I'll probably mention some of that later on as we go, not in this little shout out Sunday live session. Next, this one's probably a bit nearer and dearer, close to mine and my wife's heart in that as well, and probably friends in that from a personal perspective, but also a connection perspective. But just a shout out to those servicemen and women, both in the New Zealand Defence Force and Australian Defence Force, as well as the first responders in both those countries too. Challenging times, hard jobs in both of those areas, the Defence Force and the first responders, and just acknowledging the work that they do for us, for you and I, and and that it doesn't go unnoticed either. Well, I like to think it doesn't go unnoticed, and I'm pretty confident by a lot of the people that are kind enough to follow me and comment from time to time. It would appear that a lot of people understand the challenges and the risks and stuff associated with the work that you do. So thank you all very much for that. And then the last one that I've got on here for me, just for this Sunday, because I could probably rattle on, as you know, if anybody's been following me for a while, I could probably turn this into a 2-hour long live shout out session, but I won't. Well, yeah, I won't tonight. Last one is from me is to shout out those parents right now. So what I mean by that, the parents, whether you're um, fortunate, blessed like I am to be in a loving relationship, and having the opportunity to raise good people, good humans, to the best of your ability. And whether you're fortunate to be in a relationship and doing that, or whether you are on your own, and a number of people that are kind enough to support me are on their own. They are doing it hard and raising children as well as they can, and trying to teach them good things, good values, how to contribute positively in this world. And just want to acknowledge and thank you for that. It's not easy. I know that that's not easy, not because I've been a single parent, but because I was raised by a single parent. And my mum, bless her, she's given me a heck of a lot of tools and lessons that I still am grateful to try to apply to this day. Don't get me wrong, she gave me a lot of good other lessons too for being a nowheres and a tutu. but without those lessons, without those let's say less happier memories, I wouldn't be where I am today without them. I know that for a fact. I would have been an idiot. Well, maybe depends on who you ask. I probably would have been more of an idiot than what I am now. But yeah, like single parents, man, you do it tough. You got a lot of work to do, and it can be challenging and lonely. Again, not speaking because I've been a single parent and felt that type of loneliness, but having been raised by one and seeing that and feeling that, you can't help but feel that when you're in that environment. Yeah, I have a small understanding of what you may be going through. So yeah, shout out to the parents, man. Keep doing what it is that you're doing as best you can. It's not easy. It sucks at times, but yeah, if anybody's worthy of a shout out, not just from me, some random hori here in Te Whanganui-a-Tara, Pōneke, Porirua, Wellington, Aotearoa, New Zealand, but from anyone, it's those parents out there that are doing their best to raise good people. So yeah, that's the wrap up for this little shout out Sundays. That's what I'm going to call it. This was off the cuff, so that's why it's so late. Off the back end of doing a little bit of searching around and reconnaissance of potential navigation areas as well. So that's been going good. So the school community, the individuals that I get to do the one-to-ones with, Shane Poe, the blogger. He is a blogger, but yeah, he's definitely a lot more than that, at least in my eyes anyway, and those that know him well, or those that know him better. Terminator_training, shout out to you, servicemen and women, NZDF, ADF, and the first responders across the board in both those countries, and to the parents, whether you're fortunate to be in a strong relationship or whether you're currently single and doing the business on your own, raising good people, good children as best you can. So thank you all very much. Appreciate your time and the support. What's this? Hope there's no World War III. Yeah, likewise. Ninja Cut said hi. Damn, you're a Kiwi. I'm from Raitihi. Big Man 1942. Was he the one on your selection? Maybe you're talking about Shane Poe. He wasn't on my selection. He would have been an instructor. One of my favourite quotes from NZSA's First Among Equals is, if you think you are at the top of that hill, there's going to be the hill beyond here. I think it might have been Ed that was saying, I think, from First Among Equals. Possibly us, but hello from Tawa. Hey, kia ora, Vanilla Butcher. Too much from Tawa. F around and find out. Kia ora, brother Joe. This is different. Yeah. Shout out Sundays. SOS. G'day from a very wet Queensland. Oh, hey, Billy. And I think that is everyone. Oh, no, hang on. Richard John Steele. Scott Shin. Yeah, I'm with you in terms of that World War III stuff. But off topic, have you worked with what are your opinions on JTF2? JTF2, the Canadians, I haven't worked with them, but I've only ever heard good things about them from people that have. So Greg Pup Johnson, ex-Kiwi SAS guy, I was fortunate to speak with him. he said nothing but good things about JDF2 and that sort of stuff, and a bunch of others as well that that I know, but I personally haven't worked with them. So unfortunately, I can't give my personal take on them, but I respect those men well enough, and those that have said nothing but good things about JTF2 to acknowledge that if they say they're good, and these are people that I know and respect, then yeah, then they are clearly very, very good. Do you think you get a better experience in SASR than NZEG? Do more cool stuff and higher chance of deployment? Good question. Good question. See, that's what I mean. This what's the name? This channel is probably a little bit more. This was going to be just the shout out Sundays, and it still is. So I've done the shout outs, but I don't want to just shut off when people have taken the time to pop in and ask a question. I think you get to do, what was it? You get to do more cool stuff. I don't know about cool stuff. And again, I can't speak to this with any sort of authenticity because I didn't serve as a badged member in the New Zealand unit. So those that have followed my or heard my story, you know, I fell short. You know, I didn't get badged. Come close, but close is not good enough, right? So got to shape it, got to put the masking tape with my name on the inside of it, got to hand it over, and then up to the office, and yeah, not today, son. You can come back next year and things. So I can't speak from how cool the stuff is. Like the guys that are in there now that I still know and have an opportunity and have had opportunities to work with over the years and hear about some of the stuff that they did. It's been gnarly, man, and very, 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 very cool. I think anyway. An opportunity in terms of more of that, do more, possibly that way, just because Australia's a bit bigger country-wise, and they do have a bigger budget, you know, and they have, you know, or at least when I was there, they had more resources. In terms of training, quality, skill level of soldiering and that sort of thing, I wouldn't be able to separate them from that perspective. But resources, size, funding, that sort of stuff, Australia was definitely had the edge, or more than an edge, over the NZ unit at the time. I'm not sure what it's like now. Your other part, higher chance of deployment. Interesting. I honestly don't know what the deployment was, what it would have been like. Obviously, with the global war on terror, New Zealand, Australia, the deployment cycle and rotations were very high from what I understand from both. Guys in Australia, some guys are getting burnt out. I know that. In NZ, guys were very, very busy and under the pump in as well. And you only have to look at some of it, like Jamie Pinnell was sharing just a snippet of, you know, a very, very significant event at the Intercontinental in Afghanistan during one of his deployments, one of his multiple deployments, and the guys that he was with, to get a bit of an understanding in terms of, I suppose, the deployment wise. Yeah, I can't speak to that these days. It may be very different. There may be a much higher chance of deployment in Australia versus New Zealand on the current landscape. Who knows? But yeah, thank you for the question, Drought 8199. Where are we? There's another Maori brother that runs around being gangster. Use polar opposites. A worldwide, was this a wild, sorry, world we live in nowadays. There's another Maori brother that runs around being gangster. Yeah, I don't know who that is. Feel free to share it with me. Drop it in the comments. I'll go check him out. Do you know why some of the Aussie SAS guys' faces weren't censored in their selection video? Probably largely, but I don't know specifically, but I think largely the faces that you would have seen are more than likely the guys that didn't get through. So there's a fair bit of work that happens in the background post filming something like that for a selection course, or at least nowadays, maybe not in the 1998 selection here in NZ, the one that I was in, because there's heaps of the boys' faces in there that actually made it, and you see that, like when they show Poe at the end, and they're like, yes, you can smile, like his face should have been blurred out. But he wasn't. The other mate of mine who I've spoken about, Higgy, who's still in the army now. He's not with the regiment. Well, not that I know of. He's not with the regiment. I've caught up with him in person down here in Wellington. Hey, maybe he is. But he's on that video. His face is shown. He passed. They didn't blur his face out either. So usually there is some post-recording editing that in a situation like that, for a unit like that, there would be some involvement from the senior instructors and that sort of thing with the media that's doing that filming to blur out some of the candidates' faces. But if some slip through the hinaki, so to speak, and they didn't get blurred out and they're like, hey, I'm serving in there, it's probably unlikely that people are going to recognize the person's face anyway, but that doesn't make it right. So yeah, if there are people that you know and you can see that they didn't blur out their faces and they're badge members, I can't speak to that other than there must have been an oversight or a mistake made there. Mistakes do still happen in the unit, believe it or not, and they happen on a daily occurrence. Believe that or not. So hopefully that Vanilla Butcher, Levi plays, makes edits. Which pie is better, New Zealand pies or Aussie pies? Which pie is better? I think probably because I've been, if you had to ask me that at the end of either of those selections, I would have told you New Zealand's pie or then Australia's pie. Right now, because I've been back home a lot longer, like I've been enjoying pies since I've been back home here. That Pawa pie, pretty hard to beat. Never tasted anything like that in Australia, but at the same time, never tasted any of their other, I suppose some of their what we might call a gourmet pie, for want of a better term. So yeah, New Zealand pies right now. Chirikazi. All right, I think that's it, eh? That's it for the Shout Out Sunday, or SOS. Not in a negative way, but yeah, just wanted to take some time and acknowledge those 6 things for this Sunday's shout out, and also to hopefully I got the questions that people asked in here and managed to answer them. Apologies if I've missed it. I'm just having a quick scroll back through. Just 22 Mike. Kia ora from Saigon. Kia ora, bro. You must be in Saigon. Surely that's why I put that there. Just having a quick look. Yeah, looks like I got all of those ones. Apologies again for the lighting. Hopefully the audio came through all right, and appreciate your time and support as always. I see a few new handles on here that I've not seen before, so I appreciate you taking some I might have messed something up, so I appreciate you taking some time to stop by and to ask the questions that you have. So look after yourself, enjoy the rest of your Sunday wherever you are, or Saturday depending on where you are, and enjoy the week coming up. Hopefully everything goes well. Stay safe, stay awesome, and until the next video, there's a big mana wave coming from me to each of you, filled with my aroha, respect, appreciation, and gratitude for you all. Sorry about being stuck in the car too. And Xavier ZNZ. Okay. Live. Oops. What's a cancel? Yeah, stop streaming.